Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you're still having a fantastic day. Seeing that this is the Fever post-game video, post-first playoff game video, you might not be having a fantastic day, but don't let it affect you that much. Yeah, they bombed, folks. They flamed out. They were just, everything about it was absolutely terrible. Um, not in one quarter did Indiana get to the 22 points I said they needed. One time they didn't even reach the teens. It's insane. 12 points in the fourth quarter. 2018, 19, 12, 69. That is some ugly stuff. But first, before we get to that, look, man, I think we all saw again today, for those of you that haven't figured it out yet, or you just have a much better heart than I do, and you really just want to give the WNBA the benefit of the doubt. There's nothing professional about this league in any way, shape, or form from top to bottom. It's an embarrassment. It is an absolute embarrassment. Look, we'll start with this, folks. I mean, this is right at the beginning of the game. Right at the beginning of the game. Pay attention to this. Okay. Now, can you all see where Aaliyah Boston is all the way over here on the right? They called a foul on Aaliyah Boston on this play. We don't want Aaliyah Boston in foul trouble to start the game, but that was a foul called on Aaliyah Boston. You heard me. Now, here's the kicker, and this is why I say it's completely unprofessional. First of all, Aaliyah Boston went crazy trying to get her coach to challenge it. And I don't even think Aaliyah Boston was trying to be like, hey, this has to be called on another player. I just think from what she saw, and I could see how there's no foul there at all, because Thomas was just in terms of leverage, physics, she wasn't in a good spot. I can see why she fell without it being a foul. Her and Lexi and Nalissa are battling for the ball. So Aaliyah Boston's probably like, well, there's no foul there because it sure couldn't have been on me. And she's trying hard to get Christy Sides to challenge it, and which Sides finally did. But here's the other kicker with that, folks. They called this foul on Lexi Hull. I promise you, as bad as things are with officiating all the way around in the NBA, in no way, shape, or form, again, do the officials go to the table and look at this and actually make the Fever use their challenge. Now, she got another one because she won it, but that still takes away a challenge, and this is right at the beginning of the game. What the officials would do is simply correct their call. This should not be a challenge taken away at all in any way. I don't care how you try and spin it. It is unprofessional. It is incompetent. It is people who are hired for reasons other than qualifications, and there is no excuse for it. You want to be accepted as a professional sports organization, you need to act like it, and you need to hire people who are able to be professional. This is not it. Everyone involved in this league needs to be fired and replaced before next season. Oh my gosh. And then we can go like this. This is right after. I mean, and there's also pictures. This gave Caitlin a black eye. Right there, right there, boom. By the way, not only does it give her a black eye, but this shot gets missed, and then Dijon, the mustard pole dancer look, goes the other way and gets an easy layup because Caitlin Clark's lying on the floor because she just got smacked in the eye and got a black eye from this, but there was no call there. Absolutely unacceptable. And that's not even, hey, there's more, folks. What about the multiple shot clock issues in the first half where the damn thing, the horn, the reset, it's going off and they're stopping the game? The Indiana Fever are getting rebounds and they are trying to run, and the game is getting stopped because they keep effing up the shot clock. Not acceptable. Unprofessional league. This is a complete and total embarrassment. If there were a lot of eyes on this, and there may not have been because they were dumb enough to put Caitlin Clark in the middle of the NFL schedule, but if there are, this is not a good look. This is why the WNBA loses money. Everything about this game was ugly from top to bottom, including the play. It was not an enjoyable game to watch. All the stoppages, the physicality is how they put it, but it was just awful, awful basketball. By the way, Alyssa Thomas, I know she had a good game overall, but man, she has worse form than Angel Reese. I mean, it is awful. It is ugly. It is not how you shoot a basketball. I'm just saying. Look, Christy Sides did not have this team ready. And then it seemed like they also let the officiating nonsense fluster them and get them out of what they wanted to do. Which, look, I understand it. I'm not, but you can't have it either. I don't know why Smith started. I really don't. She did only play 9 minutes, but look, here's the thing: Melissa Smith can't play in this series anymore, and I mean that sincerely. I don't mean that as an overreaction. I'm taking the whole season into consideration, how she's played, the issues with her and the Fever, the issues with her and the Connecticut Sun. And look, Melissa Smith had a moving pick called against her. I think it was on Mustard. And hey, I really don't have a reason to not believe that wasn't purposeful now with everything that I've seen. If you need another body for that position to take over for Smith, okay, look, you can give Dantas more minutes. Fag Bentley was terrible today. Hopefully she's better. So I'm not saying take away her minutes. But look, then you put Saxton out there. But Smith cannot play in this game going forward. There was no half court offense at all, right? The offense became for a while there, and I think I saw someone put on Twitter they were worried because Kelsey was looking like the older Kelsey Mitchell, right? She's dribbling around in circles, which she was. But the lack of a half court offense, it was so bad that I actually didn't mind that Kelsey was dribbling around a lot and looking for a shot because somebody had to move because the other four players weren't moving. There was nothing. There was no half court offense. So you know what, Kelsey Mitchell? You put that shot up because you're the only one trying to create anything. Now, that being said, and look, let me back up a little bit because I don't want to have everyone crying and like wanting to go to high places. It's not often you're going to have Mitchell and Clark shoot 4 for 23 from three combined. Okay. Mitchell was 2 for 10. Clark was 2 for 13. So the series is not over. Let me make that clear. Maybe I should have said that right at the beginning. But this series is not over. Okay. So don't let yourselves think it is. There's a lot of things that didn't go right today, and some of it you just couldn't help. I mean, Clark was 4 for 17, folks. She was 2 for 13 from three, and look, she only had 2 turnovers, but she did not play a good game overall. I mean, she really didn't. And it's unlikely that she plays 2 bad games in a row, but she was not good today, all the way around. Look, yes, she had 8 assists, she had 3 steals, she only had 2 turnovers, but she didn't play very well. She just didn't. She didn't seem to be her normal into it sort of self. I don't know if maybe there's a migraine issue there, if that's possible. But Fag Bentley was not very good today. Basically, the only sub they had in a way. I mean, Fag Bentley played 13 minutes, but was Dantas. Dantas was really good today. Dantas played a really good 23 minutes. In fact, I would have liked to have seen her take more shots in the second half after the way she started. 4 of 7, 2 of 3 for 3, 2 of 2 from the line, couple rebounds. I thought she played 12 points. I thought she played extremely well. Lexi was great, other than, again, I'd like to see Lexi Hull taking more than 4 shots. I mean, think about it. No one shot other than Clark, Mitchell, and Boston. Now, obviously, I don't mean that literally, but Dantas had her 7, and then Hull had her 4. and then nobody else had more than one. So that's an issue. That this If the team isn't getting open looks for Lexi Hull, there's a problem with the way the offense is flowing. And I'm not saying when a Boston or a Mitchell or a Clark is hot that may happen, but there weren't looks for Lexi. And the bucket she did have was she actually put the ball on the floor and got into the lane and hit a little mid range jumper. Only had a couple of threes, missed them both, but they were good looks. I would want her to shoot them, but you should be able to get her a few more looks than they've been getting her so far for a while now, really. Um, and look, to be fair, I probably would have had Wheeler play a little more today. I'm not sure where. Mitchell and Clark played 36 and 37 minutes. Maybe they both play a few minutes less. I don't think it would have mattered the way they were shooting. But Wheeler was really the only one who was effective on Mabrey. So it might have made sense to play her a little more. The Fever got absolutely crushed on the boards. I think obviously a huge part of that is Melissa Smith. Again, Saxton, you got nothing out of Melissa Smith, right? She was a huge negative, 9 minutes, 0 for 1 from the field, one rebound, and it was offensive. The Sun had 8 defensive rebounds. They crushed the Fever on the boards in that respect. Melissa Smith did not have a defensive rebound. She was absolutely terrible. Is anyone, Christy Sides, are you listening? Is anyone going to tell me that Saxton would be a worse option than Melissa Smith? Absolutely not. Now, man, speaking of Mabry, I had a lot of issues with my getting my video actually out there today. I wanted to do it this morning, so it was close to game time. So I don't know how many saw it, but if you did, you know that in today's I did a pregame because it's the playoffs. I talked a lot about you cannot allow go under screens against Marina Mabrey, but they did it. In fact, Clark finally hit her first three of the game in the third quarter, and literally down the other end, she goes under a screen against Mabrey, and Mabrey hits the three to negate Clark's. The Indiana Fever need to be watching my videos. I specifically said this morning, do not go under screens against Mabry. What else did I say? I said, I don't care how you rotate. I said, first of all, I said, you shouldn't rotate as often as they do. You shouldn't switch as often as they do, but you absolutely cannot be late rotating on Mabry. You cannot leave Mabry. You cannot leave her open. And if you let her make 3, 4, 5 threes and you let her get 20 plus points, the Indiana Fever will lose. But Christy Sides didn't listen to me. She did not listen. She ignored everything I said about Mabrey. So what happened? Marina Mabrey went 9 of 20 today. Off the bench, by the way. She doesn't start. 9 of 20, 5 of 12 from 3, and had 27 points. That is insane. That is insane. On a positive note, I believe this was Caitlin Clark's first ever playoff bucket. So we're going to take a look at this. It gave us a little bit of hope. It tied the game, and she battled for this too. I mean, this is a nice play, right? That's where I see that, and I think, all right, maybe now we're going to get a little flow. She's going to get into it, but unfortunately, there were a lot of other factors. It wasn't just her missing, but again, there was no half court offense. There was no flow. It was just partly because of officiating as well. There was no flow to this game. It was ugly between the officiating, Christy Sides being horrifically bad with no offense to speak of, and the shot clock thing as well. There was just never any flow for this team. One other thing, because I want to shout her out as a positive as well, and I think this is the Hull. Oh no, maybe not. I forget which play this is because there were a couple of really great Lexi Hull hustle plays that I could be showing. I thought this was the one that led to a Mitchell bucket in the other end in the second half, but obviously not because we're in the second quarter. But this is just another great play though from Lexi Hull. I mean, look at her anticipation, her ability to go. She wants the ball, she goes and gets it. She gets the ball to Kelsey Mitchell and bucket. I mean, that was missing too often today, and not from Lexi Hull, from the team as a whole. The team as a whole had a lot of problems. Now look, can this Indiana Fever team win 2 games in a row against this Sun team? Yeah, absolutely. I think they actually match up well with the Sun, even though maybe it didn't look like it today. Do they have to change a lot of things? Yeah. No going under screens against Mabrey. No leaving her wide open. There has to be some more straight up mano y mano, woman to woman defense without all this switching and nonsense. So that's got to change. Smith can't start. She cannot start the next game. I don't even really think she can play any more this series. I think now is the time to say we're finished with Melissa Smith. We've moved on, and she's going to be somewhere else next year. I would rather see Saxton in than Smith. I think the team will be better with Saxton than with Smith. They must try and push more. Way too much half court. It was absolutely awful. And look, Mitchell did not. Mitchell shot as poorly from three almost as Caitlin did today. But truly, with the way the team was going, I did not have an issue with Kelsey trying to force the issue at times and the excess dribbling because there was nothing in that half court offense. There was nothing. And so sometimes you are going to have your scores force things. Just part of the way it is. Clark has to be better, and it's not just the shots. I I really don't see Caitlin Clark shooting 2 for 13 from three again. It's going to happen. I doubt it's going to happen 2 games in a row. I think she needs to come with a little more energy. I didn't feel like Caitlin was Caitlin today, and it does happen. I don't know that I've ever seen it 2 games in a row, so that's a good thing. I One other thing that stood out to me too has been weird all season, and it matters in close games. She seems to have end of quarter and end of shot clock issues where she wants to defer and not try and get a shot. I think it was the end of the second where they actually had the time and opportunity to at least get maybe something on the offensive side of half court, but she just didn't even make the effort. There was a time in the end of the shot clock, I think in the first half as well, where she had like 4 or 5 seconds left. She gave the ball to Dantas. Dantas wanted to get it back to her. Clark basically waved her off and walked away, and Dantas went to the basket to try and get something, and I think she might have gotten blocked. I think it ended in a turnover. And those are just weird little things that I don't understand that do have to change. On the plus, she only had 2 turnovers against what many consider the best defensive team in the league. That is a huge, huge plus. I just didn't think she had that energy today, and I thought her defense was subpar today, even for her. Now, the flip side, of course, is Caitlin Clark has always, always been able to change things around quickly. So I wouldn't worry about her too much. I do worry about the things like Sides and Smith because I don't see the half court offense changing, and I don't see Melissa Smith sitting out, unfortunately, either. Um, but if they run a little more, see, the thing is, even if Christy Sides doesn't change the half court, if the team, because they're the ones playing, and look, Christy Sides is not going to bench Mitchell and Boston and Hull and Clark and so forth if they just go out and run more than she wants them to run. And that's sometimes players just have to take charge and have a feel for the game and do what's right for them while they're out there. And so that can be negated a little bit. The Smith and minutes thing, if Sides insists on playing Melissa Smith, then well, there's not much we can do about that, unfortunately. But look, it's one of those games they don't have to play tomorrow. Unlike I think the Aces have to play tomorrow. I think the Aces and Storm play back to back. I mean, I don't think it's still tomorrow night, but they play. But even though they're in Connecticut, they don't have to travel and they still have a day off. So they have time to just take a deep breath, get this one out of their system, relax a little bit, get their mind on something else. The players need to relax, do something else together that's not basketball. Don't talk basketball for a little bit, and then get back in the gym later and work on some things. light run throughs. I don't think Sides is going to have anything new or anything insightful to add. So, but man, I'm going to leave it there. That was rough. That was rough. But the WNBA has a lot of things it needs to fix. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below on all of it, man. On the game, on Clark's performance, on what you just chalk up to, hey, it's one of those days and we'll get them next time. Is there anything you saw that says, yeah, they can't beat this team, they're done? I don't think that's the case, but hey, you might. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you later.